Namaste to all. Today we are continuing with the fourth part of Yukta Prashnam. We have nobody else other than Miss World 1999-2000. After 25 years, we've got her voice for Ayush by Destiny's Will. You will know about who Dr. Meera is and Yukta when we continue with the series. But I would like to share with all my clients and health seekers and friends and family, and my father who is not here, that as a 16-year-old girl, I fell in love. My first love was Ayurveda. When my father asked, Meera, I wanted to be a doctor. And he asked me, Meera, do you want to take up Ayurveda? I had scored very much easily. I could have gone into allopathy stream. And, something shook me off, from my soul. And head over heels, I fell in love with Ayurveda. And I wanted to take Ayurveda to the world. That dream, when I see after 30 years, is manifest with none other than Miss World by voluntarily accepting to be the Ayush ambassador. I can only tell the person behind Yukta Mookhey, it is those cosmic thoughts which has held, led us here. So we had fantastic discussion on Lord Dhanvantari Avatarana in the last 3 sessions. We couldn't go deeply into it, and now we are going into the next episode on the Avatarana of Dhanvantari in the world. Yes, Yukta ji, tell us, lead us into the discussion.
Thank you for the honor, and it's absolutely my it's my blessing that I'm with you, Dr. Meera, that we are able to take this forward. And for me as well, even though it was not my dream at 16, but it's become my dream since the last 10 years to take Ayurveda to the whole world. And I think this is the only way we can pay back to our rishis and to our gurus and to this parampara, and really complete the purpose of our life.
I find Yukta being so expressive in her videos. All the expressions of mamata comes to her. And in her past, I remember, Yukta, if you don't mind, right? She was not very happy with her journey in her cinema, right?
Correct.
Yeah, she found that the directors told her that she was not very expressive. So I'm very sure my daughter and my son who were watching, they were like, she's so expressive was your first, thought. And now when you work somewhere naturally, right? When it comes out of your soul, so expressively, yeah. Okay. So let's go into the discussion, Yukta.
Thank you. So Dr. Meera, last discussions before Deepavali, we had covered the gifts that we got from the Samudra Manthan.
Yeah.
And then now we can recap those gifts also, which we got all the prasadams, Mahaprasadams.
Please.
But mainly we stopped at.
Please go ahead.
But because
we'll recall once.
We got Shankha, we got Mahalakshmi, of course. Needless to say, we don't have to say those things only. But we got the wish. First thing was halahal. Then we got Uchchaishrava horses, the 7 horses we got. Then Kamadhenu Gaumata we got, Kalpavriksha we got. We didn't speak much, but we can at some point in the future we can touch upon it. We got the Saranga Dhanush, we got Kaustuba Mani, then we got Airavat, the Gajendras, Chandrama, and of course then with the Amrita Kalasha we got Dhanvantari Devta.
Yeah, we also got Varuni, then Mohini came out later, right? So we understood as to how these are different. We can take some as the concepts which we got for the practice of Ayurveda, and even allopathy to many extent. Okay, so which we'll discuss later again. We are running out of time. So now this Dhanvantari Avatarana stops here, and in this Manvantara with Ajita as the demigod as the god presiding this. After this, Ajita gives a varam to Dhanvantari and tells that his avatar gets over when he gives the Amrita Kalash, after which the Devas and Asuras split it within themselves with Rahu and Ketu taking some part of it, right? That's different Puranic history. So he is given a vara by Lord Ajita that he would be born in the world as Kashiraja's son. Okay, Divodasa Kashiraja's son. So here he gets, in Dwapara Yuga, he gets born to Kashiraja's son as a Divodasa Kashiraja. Divodasa Kashiraja himself is believed to be Lord Vishnu's avatar, and his son again, he takes a vrat and he gets Divodasa Kashiraja. He is sent to learn Ayurveda from the great Saptarishi, Bharadwaja Mahamuni. From Bharadwaja, he learns Ayurveda. And you will find this again and again in history, Yukta ji. You may be well aware that even Lord Krishna, whenever he wants to manifest some things, he goes and takes a penance or a tapas. I always wonder, why should Lord Krishna, he is everyone, right? So Lord Krishna already accomplished. He knows all the 63, 64 colors. Why should he go and take a tapas, right? This is again and again told in Puranas and Vedas, Yukta ji, that whenever you want to attain something, that is what probably they're trying to set examples. Okay, Lord Krishna, when he wanted to give birth to a son, he's shown that he last groups of sons who would kill themselves, by the shapa. He would refuse to give the varam to his wife, but then he will go and do tapas, is what is told in Mahabharata. So even Lord Krishna takes a tapas because they tell how your work will be of good use to yourself and the society if you're going to concentrate well. Okay. So similarly, Devodas Kashiraj takes a penance and then he gets this Dhanvantari. When he focuses, then you get the best phala for your work. Okay. So he goes and learns with Bharadwaja, and then he becomes an expert and starts practicing. And Yukta ji, the name Dhanvantari. Okay. So we have to also understand the meaning of what is the
meaning
word.
Of the name. Yes.
What, it's so strange, right? Not like Krishna and Rama. What is this Dhanvantari? And Hindi syllables are a challenge. Hindi and Sanskrit syllables, right? Ta, gha, sha, dha, ha, bha. No, it's a huge exercise, physical exercise itself for your abdominal organs.
Absolutely. Entire pranayam is happening.
Yeah. So the Hindi and Sanskrit teachers always scold us, right? If we don't pronounce it properly. So that is why we Tamils do not learn much of Sanskrit and Hindi, because your teachers always keep scolding us. When you scold us, how are we going to? Many of us, we do not pronounce many of even women know sha and tha and dha. It should come from your navi. Even men do not pronounce it, right? It's so much from your, actually, as it has to be. So this Dhanvantari, here itself, he puts the challenge of chanting it properly, then only you'll get proper health, because your abdominal muscles, your uterine muscles, they all get activated, right? You have to tell the dha from your lower abdomen. Navel. Yeah. So Dhanvantari, what is Dhanush? Dhanush, Yukta Mukhi ji, आप बताइए, आपका मदर टंग हिंदी है क्या?
हाँ जी, हिंदी है. एंड धनुष जितना हमें समझ में आता है इज द bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow. So any instrument, any instrument can be considered to be Dhanush or the bow and arrow, Yukta ji. And why is it called Dhanvantari? Dhanva or Dhanush is the first word, and Anta is what does Anta mean? Antam is ending. So the person, the god who has the Dhanush in his hand, or the instrument in his hand, or the Shastram in his hand, or the surgical instrument in his hand, with which he is going to destroy, bring an end to all your miseries. Dhanvantari. Right. This is iti khyata. Okay. So, yeah. So this instrument, surgical instruments, you find all the instruments very detailedly explained in Sushruta Samhita, Yukta ji. Sushruta is considered to be the disciple of Lord Dhanvantari, the Dhanvantari of Devodasa Kashiraj. Okay, this Dhanvantari. And all the instruments are very, very beautifully recorded, Yukta. Yukta, we must understand that how India stands apart from other countries. Okay, with
absolutely, doctor.
All pride and humility. We must have pride, but also humility. Because why I'm going to tell is this. Traditional medicine practices are found across the world till date.
Absolutely, yes.
We call it as Ayurveda, but in South America, it is called as native medicine. In North America, in native medicine. In London, Europe, in China, in Japan, and Australia, you find all traditional medicine practices. That's why our trust name itself, we called it as Neo Pangea Center for Traditional Medicine. Pangea is the old world where all the continents were put together. So I wanted it to be a new world where you have it in mind that we were all one. Neo Pangea Center for Traditional Medicine. I could have called it as Ayurveda. I could have called it as Ayush also to honor ourselves. But then we should not forget the root that we were all together, and these practices are still found in all the countries. But then how are we special? What is special about India? The specialty about India is Yukta. We have documented all these medicines from day one of practice, and it still exists, and it is still going to exist. This documentation part in Sanskrit and Tamil text or regional languages, we are winners. You understand? That is our pride. The humility is, the humility is that everybody is doing in their country. Okay. The pride is we have documented it in our palm leaves and copper and stone engravings, which is not, that is the proof, documentation and research studies we've been doing since ages. In what way it was required during the 20th century. In 21st century, we're going towards new innovation. So we had gone to a different story where we're in Dhanvantari. So why did I want to tell this is we have documented and we have it in picture that these instruments were used even during the British rule. You will not find these images in many countries, but probably in Greek medicine, you will find these. I have not, in Chinese and Japanese, in Eastern side, you have these documentation in. And China is not ready to share, but we are ready to share. That is also one pride and humility, right? That is different. You don't get any information from China, and here you are. We have set the Global Center for Traditional Medicine in Gujarat, right? It is a huge, it's a thing to be celebrated in across the world. We are going to be the leaders in showing the light for traditional medicine across the world, and World Health Organization has given us the platform. So coming to Dhanvantari. So that is the god or the form of energy which is going to destroy all your diseases with the instrument which he has in hand. What are the instruments does he have? Does he have a bow and an arrow? No. What actually in the Swarupam, you've got a very beautiful picture behind you, Yukta. It's so beautiful. How did you design it?
Actually, my son has helped me with this.
Oh, beautiful.
And I said, let's create one with the Sri Singh mark, and we use AI. And I said, okay, but whatever, but it should be traditional. It should not look like it's too artificially created. So he's
beautiful. So your son Krishna has done some effort. The actual shloka, I will tell you, you can design with him later. He has a Shankha and Chakra in his hand. This Dhanvantari has got a herb in his hand. So we don't mind. That is acceptable. And one is the Amrita Kalash and second is the Shastra he has. Okay. Actually, the Dhanvantari will be having a Jaluka or a leech in his hand. Okay.
Yes.
So that is one thing which Krishna should add. Next time I will give the shloka and we will see a better Dhanvantari from your son. Okay.
Done.
So that is the Shastra. It is called Anushastram because in Dhanvantari is actually a surgeon. Okay. Not a clinician. Okay. So there is difference between a surgical practice and a clinical practice, right? Doctors can write the prescription, but surgeons can only do the surgery. So he was not an ordinary physician, just writing multivitamin tablets and, just kada vada ऐसे लिखकर नहीं उनका practice था पूरा surgery का. He used to mend the fractures. He used to operate on appendicitis and kidney stones and cesareans with cesarean where either the mother or the fetus were helped. So there were challenges also. We will go into that also later. Okay. So Dhanvantari is the person who is going to remove all your diseases from your mind, body, soul, and your births with his both mental, physical, and spiritual energy. That is Dhanvantari. So this Dhanvantari was born to devote as a Kashiraja. Okay. So
can you also speak a little about, because our tradition and our lineage is so rich with the Guru Parampara, that we can understand how from his Guru he has learned, even though we are actually addressing Dhanvantari Devata as an Adi Vaidya.
Yeah.
Adi Vaidyaya Vidmahe.
Yeah.
Tatpurushaya Dhimahi. Tanno Dhanvantari Prachodayat. So when we are saying he's Adi Vaidya, we are assuming that he's already emerged and he's come with the Vidya. Still, to unlock the Vidya, always we are saying in our tradition, the Guru's feet is and the Guru's blessings is required. Without Guru Kripa, we cannot proceed in any form of knowledge or wisdom. So from that source of Guru Parampara, can you also continue and enlighten us and the viewers about the sishyas of Dhanvantari Devata, so how he passed it on from Rishi Bharadwaj?
So Dhanvantari of the son of Kashiraj, okay? So of Kashiraj, he had 7 sishyas. They were Sushruta, Aurabhra, Aupadenava, Paushkalavat, Karavira, Gopura Rakshita, Gopura Rakshita and Vaitaran. These were the 7 sishyas. So of all the 7 sishyas, everybody wrote a Samhita. The Samhita is text. Of which Sushruta Samhita excelled, and we will also look into how texts were lost, and their friends and assistants or son would get the text and again, they will do that.
Rewrite
also.
it.
So rewrite
document it.
Yeah. So Sushruta Samhita is considered to be originated from Sushruta and direct disciple of Dhanvantari. And Dhanvantari is believed to have written Dhanvantari Nigandu, Dhanvantari Samhita. There are plenty of texts, many of which have been lost. But Dhanvantari Nigandu, they tell it's a very new entry in the last thousands years. But then even there are references that they were ancient texts. So dating and all is a completely separate chapter which we'll discuss. Okay. So this Sushruta Samhita is the base with which even MD Shalya Chikitsa, there is one MD Shalya Chikitsa which Ayurveda doctors take after their BAMS 3-year course. The best form of MD Shalya Chikitsa is practiced in Varanasi, Yukta ji, there in BHU, where they are allowed to do surgeries along with the assistance of allopathic anesthesia. Okay, anesthetics.
Oh, very interesting.
This is very interesting.
New,
BHU is the only place, okay, they are strong and raw, and you will not do it in any other parts of India. So we will discuss on integration, challenges of integration, why an Ayurveda doctor does not write allopathy, why he should not write, why an allopathy doctor writes Ayurveda, why he should not write. If they are going to write together, who will write what, right? You should do what you have to do, right? Legally in India, one cannot write the other branches medicine. That is very clear. Right. But now the Indian government is going towards integration. They are very clear. What is this integration? How are they going to do? These things are huge points to be discussed. But while lots of allopathy doctors have been continuously writing Ayurveda prescriptions, which all allopathy doctors do, like companies like Dabur and Zandu, they cannot even exist if allopaths do not, and Himalaya. Allopathic doctors maximum write Himalayan medicines, and similarly, there's a very minimal pockets of Ayush doctors who write antibiotics. So these are not covered by the legal structure of India. So how do we proceed as a country is a huge challenge. Where and who and how and what should be done. Okay, that we will discuss in the later episodes. So this is about Dhanvantari Avatarana. We saw him in the Kshetrasagara. We saw him in Devadas Kashiraja. We saw him. He has sishyas, and he was also a surgeon. And I have the most beautiful picture of Dhanvantari here.
Dr. Meera, could you also please share with us about the temples of Dhanvantari Devata, which are in India, different parts of India, and then we would love to hear the prayer also that you have for Dhanvantari Devata.
See, Lord Dhanvantari, as we had discussed, many of the Vaidyas in their home, they have fantastic murtis and they do their worship. And as I told, in Bhakti Bhava of Lord Krishna and Rama and Lord Shiva, the public only meet the doctor when they have a headache and stomachache and forget Dhanvantari, as they have other forms of Vishnu and Shiva at their home. But that's not the way, that's not the way it should be approached. Health is a tapas, Yukta ji. You don't come to a doctor at the last minute. You know, right? You have faced this. Everybody faces this and they get that jnanodayam only at 60 and 70. Oh my God, I didn't know that I should have pursued health like this. Okay. So that is why we are doing.
Ayur means, the meaning of Ayur is life-giving. So the whole purpose of Ayurveda is that you lead your dinacharya in such a way that you don't activate your vikruti and you stay with your prakriti to that point where it does not cause illness or disease, should not require a doctor unless it's a bad emergency.
Yeah. So you should meet a doctor for maintaining health and not for addressing your disease.
Correct, correct.
Right, which means you have to take regular
Yes,
cleansings like Virechanam or Vamanam or Vasti or Nasyam or Raktamoksham, or take some Rasayana Aushadas at home, do good exercise, Vyayama and Pranayama, right? And have the knowledge of Ayurveda continuously. So the temples, Yukta ji, in Neluvaya, it is a very, very famous temple in Kerala, where Lord Dhanvantari is the Moola Murti, and they give some special prasadam also to the bhaktas, devotee who go there. It's called Mukkut, I think. It's they tell it's made up of buttermilk and some medical decoctions are also added to that. So Dhanvantari temple is there in Neluvaya. We have a Dhanvantari Sannadhi in Sri Ranganatha's temple in in Trichy. It's a huge Dhanvantari statue over there. And it is believed to be built in the 12th century and by a Garuda Bhattar, I think so. And he was a Vaidya who had built that, premise within the temple premises. And you have lots of Dhanvantari murtis in the specific pharmacies in India. You have one in Nanganallur in Chennai. And in Balajapet, in around Tamil Nadu, it's there. So in the state itself, I'm not very happy, as I told you. In India, there should be better temples and better modes of worship. We still have 1.5 minutes left. Yeah.
Yeah, we also have one temple in Kashi, which is, it's not a Dhanvantari temple, but I think it belongs to the Ashwini Kumars.
Yes. Yeah, there could be other
tapasya and
yeah, there are few such locations, but not
in the north
as celebrated.
Of India also. Yeah, at least there is something in the north of India.
Yeah, so that is regarding the Dhanvantari temple. And Yukta, after allopathy has come into popular practice, we find that just as Krishna has put a medical leaf in Dhanvantari's hand behind you, our allopathy doctors have and our priests have started putting him stethoscope on Lord Dhanvantari's. And I've seen even golden stethoscopes which are worn on Dhanvantari.
No.
You don't like
really
it?
Taking away, no, not for the tradition. We should keep to our practices and our culture should be kept intact.
So, do you mind placing a Nadi Yantra of Sushruta in his hand? That's fine.
Can't say.
Can't say. Yeah. So, the Murti should be as is envisaged in Shloka.
Yes.
And it should be a token of love. I've seen that also, Yukta.
Yes.
We, of course, use stethoscope. We are not against stethoscope. We consider it as a Nadi Yantram only. You're going to just hear the sounds of it. But this is how new temples are coming, and we have to have proper understanding of what should be done and what should not be done. It can be given as a act of love towards Dhanvantari and telling the importance of stethoscope. Then are we going to keep scanning machines and x-rays? It's a huge challenge. We will, I think we are running out of time. We will discuss in the next episode regarding how Dhanvantari has come into National Medicine Commission, that is an allopathic commission's emblem itself. So, what
wonderful.
That you are happy? Are you happy with Dhanvantari coming into an allopathic?
At least they're showing some respect. They should be able to show that respect.
Okay, that is
give that acknowledgement and respect.
Oh, that is acknowledgement, but you don't like Dhanvantari having a stethoscope there?
I'm not so sure because if there was a ancient our original form of it, I would have said yes, which is the one if it is described in the Sushruta Samhita or whichever was the surgical instrument or detection instrument.